We welcome you to Baseball Night in America on Fox. From Arlington, Texas, it's the second of a three-game weekend series. Jose Ramirez and the Cleveland Guardians getting set to take on Jack Leiter and the Texas Rangers. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Kenny Albert along with Eric Karros. 3-2 win for the Rangers in the series opener last night as two key players returned to the Texas lineup.
Well, if the season were in today, both of these teams would be in the postseason. The Texas Rangers last night, they welcomed back Wyatt Langford and Corey Seager. They had both been on the IL, and the offense, it had been a bit lacking. Wyatt Langford last night coming back, hitting this double, and not to be outdone on the very next pitch. Corey Seager, I can do it a little bit better. Hits one out of the ballpark. You get these two back in the lineup. They add to this offense, especially when healthy. Only their 21st game in the lineup together this season.
Rangers have won 6 of their last 7. On the other side, Guardians first place in the American League Central with their youngsters leading the way.
Well, when you think of the Guardians, Jose Ramirez immediately jumps to mind, but it's been these youngsters that have really impacted this ball club so far in this early part of the year. Chase DeLauder started off with a bang, the home runs. Brian Rocchio has really solidified himself offensively. Travis Bazzana, the new kid on the block, hit a home run the other night. And Angel Martinez, he's displaying power that we haven't seen before. 9 home runs already. These youngsters, average age 24, they've already driven in a combined 105 runs. So far, they've had an impact. They're going to need to carry the rest of the way.
Cleveland looking for revenge tonight. It's the Rangers and the Guardians coming up. Baseball Night in America on Fox. Welcome back to Baseball Night in America. Rangers and Guardians here in Arlington, Texas. Guardian skipper Stephen Vogt, the 2-time defending American League Manager of the Year. Cleveland at 36-29. Top of the order, Bazzana, Ramirez, DeLauder. Then Manzardo, Schneemann, Martinez, Kwan, Bailey, and Rocchio. As the Guardians get set to face the 26-year-old right-hander with a record of 3-4 this season, Jack Leiter.
Yeah, Jack Leiter takes the mound. He's coming off a pretty good last 2 outings. You see, this will be his 13th start of the season, a record of just 3-4. The strikeouts are there. One of the best in all of baseball, strikeouts per 9. Got to control the walks a little bit. He's got a plethora of pitches. Likes to lean on that fastball, change, and slider, but look for that cutter because that might be his most impactful pitch.
Leiter has won each of his last 2 starts. Last season against Cleveland, 2-0, struck out 10 in each of his 2 starts. The rookie from down under, Bazzana, led off last night's game with a home run. He was a double shy of a cycle. Bazzana, Ramirez, DeLauder for the Guardians here at the top of the first inning. Now 2-1 as we take you back to the top of the first here in Arlington last night.
Yeah, certainly didn't waste any time. First AB and puts it in the seats. Cleveland thinking, all right, we're in business.
Rangers have already allowed 9 leadoff home runs this season after giving up a major league leading 12 last year. We welcome those of you awaiting the Yankees and the Red Sox. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros in Arlington, Texas. Guardians and Rangers just underway. A called strike 3. So Travis Bazzana down on strikes, 1 away.
Really a nice rebound by Jack Leiter. The first 2 pitches he falls behind 2-0, but again, he's got such great stuff. He finds himself back into the count and then puts him away with a slider. Bazzana just gives up on it.
So with one away, here's Jose Ramirez. First pitch from Leiter. In for a called strike, 0-1.
And that's something we want to watch tonight. The first pitch strikes. When Leiter gets that first pitch, he's much better, but only about 50% of the time has he been able to land that first ball.
Now 1-1 on Ramirez, who is 0 for 8 lifetime against Leiter. Ramirez 0 for 4 in last night's game, a 3-2 Texas victory. 1-2.
I mean, there isn't any question about this youngster's stuff. I mean, the arsenal is outstanding. It's just he needs to get ahead and needs to throw the ball over the plate. Doesn't need to strike everybody out.
He did strike out 10, matching his career high in his last start Sunday against Kansas City. Missing inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
No, I think you mentioned it earlier too, Kenny. Both of his starts last year against Cleveland, 10 strikeouts apiece. Combined 20 strikeouts, only 1 walk.
Now the 2-2 from Leiter. So Ramirez stays alive with 1 out, top of the first inning. Ramirez tied for the team lead, 9 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Leiter delivers the 2-2, and it's fouled back to the screen.
You know, one of the pitches that he's really added this year has been that cutter, and it's been very effective. Didn't use it at all, especially obviously in the last 2 starts against Cleveland in 2025.
Ramirez pops it up. Catch made by the shortstop Seager, 2 away. Our Wendy's pitcher profile. As you mentioned, Eric, 2 starts against Cleveland last season for Leiter. 14 innings, 20 strikeouts.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little different in the way that Cleveland has to approach Leiter tonight, just because he just retired Ramirez on that cutter, and they have not seen that pitch at all.
Ball 1 to Chase DeLauder, one of the youngsters you talked about during our open. Tied for the team lead in runs batted in with Ramirez with 32. First round pick back in 2022 out of James Madison.
Yeah, got off to a great start, 4 home runs in his first 3 games, but since only 3 home runs in the last 57. And that's the pitch right there that has given him trouble. Since May 7th, he's 18 for 98. DeLauder is 1 home run, 3 extra base hits. But what really has effectively happened since then, he just stopped hitting the fastball.
He's 0 for his last 13. For the Rangers defensively, Berger, Duran, Seager, Young around the infield, Langford in left, Carter in center, Nimmo in right. The battery of Leiter and Higashioka. The 1-2 to DeLauder. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Feel like he's got him set up for something hard right now. Go with that cutter in like he got Ramirez, or attack him with the fastball. We talked about it, or DeLauder has struggled with that pitch.
DeLauder down on strikes, second strikeout for Leiter. He retires the Guardians in order. And a top of the first here at Arlington. We head to the second inning here in Arlington, Texas. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros. Jack Leiter retired. The Guardians in order in the first, struck out 2. Now facing Kyle Manzardo. And he takes ball 1.
Maybe.
The call is confirmed. Automated balls and strikes powered by T-Mobile's network. One-0 from Leiter. Now 2-0 to Manzardo.
So far early on in this game, 3 of the first 4 hitters, Jack Leiter has fallen behind after the first pitch.
Leiter missing high, ball 3. Manzardo 0 for 3 in last night's game. 3-2 Rangers victory. Now 3-1.
Yeah, he's another one really since the beginning of May. Started to swing at 6 home runs. OPS over 1,000.
Hit 27 homers last season. Draws a leadoff walk here in the second. Tomorrow it's the UFL playoffs. It's time to crown a champion. Semifinal matchups tomorrow. DC takes on Orlando, 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC, followed by Louisville and St. Louis, 6 Eastern, right here on Fox. Leadoff man on for the Guardians here in the second. Strike 1 to Schneemann. Daniel Schneemann 0 for 6 lifetime against Jack Leiter. Rip foul. Down the right field line, 0-2.
Yeah, Schneemann got off to a real good start. Had a great March, April. Home runs, he had 4, OPS at 955. Really a big part of getting this Guardian lineup going. But has since cooled.
Schneemann sends this one to deep right field. Nimmo makes the play as Manzardo heads back to first.
Leiter's had some success with the cutter. This time he goes with the slider to the left-handed hitter, and Schneemann just out in front off the end of the bat, just a tad.
One away, here's Angel Martinez. Martinez swings at the first pitch. And he flies out to Carter in center, now 2 away.
Leiter doing a nice job of keeping the ball off the barrel and mixing in that cutter, that fastball. You know, if anything, just work ahead a little quicker, but 27 pitches so far. Really nice beginning.
18 of the first inning. So with 2 away, here's Kwan. He takes outside, ball 1. Kwan batting just .213 this season. 1 home run, he's driven in 12. Leadoff walk to Manzardo as Kwan fouls it off. Down the right side. Look at his numbers this year, Eric, compared to the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, a lot of reason is because of the way he's being attacked. Not a lot of pitches on the inner half. And thus he hasn't been able to drive the ball. And not that he does, but he usually does better than what he has up to this point. Not hitting the ball with much authority.
Center field, Carter backpedals, and that will do it for the Guardians in the second. Skip Schumacher, first season as Rangers skipper, manager of the year with the Marlins back in 2023. His club has won 6 of their last 7. Brandon Nimmo leading off for Texas here in the bottom of the second inning. His first season with the Rangers after 10 in a New York Mets uniform. Behind the count 0-2.
He's really had an impact on this ball club, not only with the bat, but in the clubhouse, out on the field, mentoring Evan Carter out in center field. A lot more than just stats with this.
Right. When we spoke with his manager Schumacher earlier, very impressed with the leadership qualities.
Yep.
Even when he's gone through a tough time at the plate, always looking to help out his teammates. 1-2 from Bybee. Center field off the bat of Nimmo. Catch is made by Schneemann for out number 1. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Scan the QR code and visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. One away, here's Wyatt Langford, along with Corey Seager, returned to the Texas lineup last night. Playing in the same game, Langford and Seager, for only the 21st time this season in game number 64 for the Rangers. And Langford pops this one up. Juan makes the catch, quickly 2 away.
Yeah, Langford, right before he went on the IL, he'd been swinging the bat well, so they hope that he can return with that vigor. But again, he does so many things well. A lot of people picking him as a potential MVP winner this year.
He was the team MVP last season. So with 2 outs, here is Ezekiel Duran. Duran batting .314 over his last 10 games. Here's the 0-2 from Bybee. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. We mentioned the lack of run support. Only 14 runs in 69 innings have been scored for Tanner Bybee. Last in all of baseball.
Right? I mean, that's, you don't want to be leading that board.
No. A list you do not want to be a part of.
No.
A 1-2-3 second for Bybee, scoreless at Arlington. Back in Arlington, Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and we are joined live by the manager of the Texas Rangers, Skip Schumacher. Skip, thanks for taking a couple of minutes. Terrific first 2 innings from Jack Leiter. What have you seen?
The fastball's been playing up, and that cutter's been really, really good so far tonight at 94 miles an hour, kind of getting in on these tough lefties, and so far so good.
Corey Seager and Wyatt Langford. It's got to be pleasant to be able to write those two back in the lineup.
It is, yeah. It's kind of nice to have them around, that's for sure, and lengthens the lineup. And you know, Corey's off to a really nice start so far, and Wyatt's taking some nice swings as well.
Brandon Nimmo, first season with the Rangers. What has he brought to this ball club, both on and off the field?
Yeah, there's some real leadership qualities that you know, we have really welcomed over here, and the meetings have been fantastic. But the best thing about Brandon is he loves his teammates, and he loves watching them have success. And even when he has tough games, if they have success and they win and we win, he's just a really, really happy guy. So that's probably the best part about Brandon Nimmo.
Thanks, Skip. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Skip Schumacher, manager of the Texas Rangers, as Leiter retires barely 1 away.
Man, he gets on, does an interview. 3 pitches later, he's got an out. He probably didn't want to go anywhere, huh?
Keep the mojo going.
Right.
His given name is Jared Michael Schumacher. Hearing the nickname Skip in his youth after there were several other players named Jared on his T-ball team. No other Skips, I guess.
No, right?
And now he's the skipper.
Had a nice run in Miami as well.
Rocchio having a terrific season at the bottom of the order. Among number 9 hitters, leads Major League Baseball in hits, runs, and runs batted in. .3-0 from Leiter. In for a called strike now, 3-1.
It's one of the things that Leiter needs to do. He's attacking Rocchio. Nobody's touched him so far. Nobody's squared him up. He's got unbelievable stuff. But sometimes, again, he falls behind in counts.
Popped up. Left side of the infield. Young under it. 2-0. Well, Eric, you talked about some of these Guardian youngsters during the opening segment, and they have led the way this season for Cleveland.
Well, they've certainly been able to contribute. And I think one of the things is it's not so much statistically what they can or can't do, but it's just the grinds and learning how to play and being there day in and day out. Now, I don't care what age you are. It's about 3 or 4 years that you have to put in before you believe that you're going to be there and that you belong. And no matter what age that starts. And he has a young team, voter, no question.
How long did it take you to feel like you belonged?
I mean, it probably was my 4th year, and that was after winning a Rookie of the Year award. But there's always that doubt, because you're going to go through stretches where you can't do anything right, and then you start wondering, like, do I belong here? But you just have to know that I don't care who you are, if you're the best player in the league or just coming up, you're going to have struggles.
On the ground to the right side, Leiter covering a 1-2-3 third. Welcome back to Arlington Baseball Night in America. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Rangers and Guardians are scoreless. Jake Berger leads off for Texas against Tanner Bybee. Kenny Albert along with Eric Karros. For those of you expecting the Yankees and the Red Sox, they have been postponed due to rain. So keep it here. Texas, Cleveland. Berger grounds out to Ramirez. One away. Well, 5 days and counting. Biggest World Cup ever comes to America this Friday. U.S. men's national team will kick off their World Cup dream on a huge night of music, stars, and celebration in Los Angeles. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with the match at 9 Eastern on Fox. And beginning next Sunday, there will be 9 games played across the street here in Arlington, including one of the 2 semifinal matches on July 14th. A lot of excitement around the country with the World Cup about to get underway. Evan Carter just 1 hit in his last 10 at-bats, batting 170 on the season.
Really burst upon the scene a few years ago, helping the Rangers win that World Series. You know, he's getting attacked a lot more with the breaking stuff, and that's something. When he first came up, there really wasn't a book on him, and you know, as the league has made adjustments, you know, he in turn as a hitter has to make adjustments, and he just hasn't been able to catch up yet. I mean, when you talk about the impact this young man can have on a game defensively, as good as there is in all of baseball.
He's had trouble staying healthy the last couple of seasons. Carter down on strikes. 2 away. First strikeout for Tanner Bybee.
Bybee goes with that cutter right there, up and away, and see Carter just underneath it. Yeah, so far early on, both these pitchers have had their stuff going, keeping the hitters off balance, attacking the zone.
So far, only 1 base runner on each side. Ball 1 to Kyle Higashioka. Working on a 4-game hit streak, 7 for his last 13. 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd inning here at Arlington. In for a called strike from Bobby, now 1-1. Higashioka pops this one into center field. Catch is made by Schneemann. A 1-2-3 third on 10 pitches for Bybee. Back at Arlington, Jose Ramirez will lead off for the Guardians. We are joined live from the Cleveland dugout by manager Stephen Vogt. Stephen, thanks for taking a couple of minutes. What's impressed you about what you've seen from Tanner Bybee over the first 3 innings?
Yeah, obviously attacking the strike zone, going right after him, getting some quick outs. Been really efficient so far with some weak contact, so keep that rolling.
So the last 2 years, you win the Central. You got one of the lowest payrolls in all of baseball. Is it culture? Is it personnel? Is it great managing? What is it?
Definitely not the last thing you mentioned, but this guy at the plate right now has a lot to do with it. His leadership in the clubhouse. You know, this group of guys just believes we're going to win day in and day out, and they show up to work to accomplish that.
Now the youngsters have certainly pulled their weight this season as well.
Yeah, definitely. We got some really young, exciting players. You know, obviously with Chase and Travis, but also, you know, Angel Martinez, Brian Rocchio, Daniel Schneemann. We've got a lot of good players, and our pitching's just been outstanding so far.
All right, thanks, Stephen. Best of luck.
Yeah, have a good night.
Appreciate it.
First place Guardians, record of 36-29. Looking to bounce back following the 3-2 loss here last night.
Well, you know, you can talk about age as youth, but you really look at the experience and the fact that, you know, he's done this with this ball club this year and managed them to, you know, atop the division at this point. And again, Jose Ramirez, you know, future Hall of Famer, has not really turned it on yet.
Ramirez drills this one deep right center. He turned it on during that at bat.
I said yet. I was just preempting it there.
His 10th home run of the season, 1-0 Guardians.
And this is a guy, he's down 0-2 in the count, then works him back into a situation where it's 1-2. He gets a high fastball, and that's Jack Leiter's strength. He tries to get that high fastball by hitters, and he usually does it. But this is a Hall of Famer right here. And that's the thing, is where they are at the top of the division. He hasn't even got to his normal Jose Ramirez stretch at all.
Missing high and away to DeLauder, now 2-0. That's career home run number 295 for Jose Ramirez. And the first hit allowed by Jack Leiter in his game. DeLauder pops it up. Middle of the infield. 1 out. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. A grand slam for your budget.
You know, going back to that home run that Ramirez hit in his first at bat, Jack Leiter had him in a 2-2 count and put him away with the cutter. That's how he induced him to pop up. This time with 2 strikes, he tried to go with the 4-seam fastball. Okay, you're just not going to sneak many by this man.
So the Guardians strike first. They took a 2-0 lead in last night's game before the Rangers scored 3 in the 6th. Manzardo walked his first time up. He was the only base runner for the Guardians over the first 3 innings. And again, Leiter falls behind 3-0.
Yeah, the last 7 pitches, only 1 strike, and that was a 3-0 offering by DeLauder.
Now the 3-0 to Manzardo. In for a called strike, 3-1. Tenth home run allowed by Leiter this season in 13 starts. Manzardo will head down to first.
Second walk of the evening for Jack Leiter, both of them to the left-handed hitter Kyle Manzardo. I like this move right now, just coming out to just try and break things up and give the youngster a little bit of a breather. You know, we talk about the youth on this ball club, on both, really on this field. Jack Leiter just turned 26 years old, and although the stuff is unreal, there's still a lot of experience he needs to gain. You know, and he's probably frustrated, right? Ramirez hitting the home run. If there's one guy in that lineup that you pick out, it's an obvious choice. This is the guy that can't beat me. Jose got him.
Ramirez had been 0 for 9 lifetime against Leiter.
Well, you can look at it 2 ways. You can look at it, he's 0 for 9, or you can look at it, this dude is due at some point, and it's coming.
Leiter in his second full season, started 6 games in 2024. Record of 10-10 last year. Schneemann at the plate. First pitch strike from Leiter. Schneemann flight out to Nimmo at the edge of the warning track and right his first time up. Went out, walk to Manzardo. He takes his lead off first. Bounce foul. Back behind first. 0-2. Leiter got off to a terrific start. His first 2 starts of the season, then struggled. Much better as of late. He has won his last 2 starts for Texas.
Again, and that's going to come with experience. You know, he is still learning. He's still learning what he can do, what he can't do. And he's still shaping pitches, adding pitches. Again, the arm, the arsenal, the pedigree, it is all there to be a superstar.
Leiter, the second overall pick in the first round back in 2021 out of Vanderbilt University. Of course, his dad Al pitched 19 seasons in the big leagues. His uncle Mark, his cousin Mark. His dad and his uncle, the first major league brothers to each have a son make it to the major leagues. One and 2 on Schneemann. 1 out, top of the 4th inning. Jose Ramirez has given the Guardians a 1-0 lead with his 10th home run of the season. Into left center. And the Guardians now have runners on first and second, still only 1 out.
Good pitch, did everything he wanted to do. Throws that cutter, except it just finds some grass. Not hit well at all. Came off the bat at 67 miles an hour. Looking for a ground ball, and he has to know that Martinez is going to be aggressive. Swung at the first pitch in his last at bat. He's not up there to walk.
Martinez fly to center on that first pitch. Manzardo takes his lead off second. Schneemann off first. Leiter delivers, and Martinez again swings at the first pitch. Same result.
That's a good job by Jack Leiter, though, anticipating that and making a pitcher's pitch on that very first offering. And the last thing you want to do against a guy like Martinez is just get that go-ahead strike, because he's going to ambush you.
So with 2 away, here's Kwan, who flied to center back in the second inning. We were scoreless through 3. Ramirez with a solo shot here in the 4th. Two on, 2 out. First pitch to Kwan. Game high 20 pitches here in the 4th inning. And number 21 in for a called strike, 1-1. Kwan sends this one down the line and left. And the catch made by Langford. to end the inning. Guardians strand 2. They take a 1-0 lead. Middle of the 4th at Arlington. Jose Ramirez has given the Cleveland Guardians a 1-0 lead. Solo shot in the top of the 4th. His 10th home run of the season. Now Jock Peterson leads off for the Rangers against Tanner Bybee, who has needed only 27 pitches over the first 3 innings. And he's pitching with the lead. We talked about the lack of run support all season long for Bybee.
Yeah, nothing to complain about now. You got 1 run. I mean, come on. I mean, real important to retire. So far, 3 innings, all 3 leadoff hitters have been retired, and that's something that has plagued Bybee.
Rangers with the best record in baseball when they score first, winning 82% of the time. Only 8 wins when they allow the first run, although that was the case last night, as Peterson flies out to deep left center. Our Indeed player resume with Corey Seager stepping to the plate.
But when he's healthy, he's one of the best players in all of baseball, and really for a stretch as good as there was in either league. 2-time world champion. And you see the struggles this year. He came back with a bang last night, though.
2-time World Series most valuable player.
When he goes big, right? Not just there to win a championship, there to show as well.
At the 2-run shot in the 6th to give the Rangers the lead that they would not relinquish last night. Seager on the Rangers, world champs in 2023. Left field, it's Kwan. Seager retired, 2 away. You know, to put the run support thing in perspective, the Rangers scored more runs for Leiter in his last 2 starts than the Guardians have scored for Bybee all season in his 13 starts.
I mean, you just figure it's got to change, right? I mean, there's no real rhyme or reason for it. Just one of those things that blank happens. That's what's been going on for Tanner Bybee.
Bybee has not gone to a 3-ball count all night over the first 11 batters he has faced. Now 2-1 on Young. Bybee in his 4th season. He's won 12 games in each of the last 2, looking for his first victory of 2026. 0-7 in 13 starts. And a base hit into right field off the bat of Young.
Young just shoots a sinker to the right side, but that's what the difference between last year and this year. Obviously health is a factor, but he's able to cover all pitches. Like, you just can't pound him with breaking balls, or you can't go to the hard stuff. He's been able to cover everything.
Brandon Nimmo fly to center his first time up. Rangers trail the Guardians 1-0. Young extending his hitting streak to 4 games. Takes his lead off first. The 2-0 from Bybee, a swing and a miss by Nimmo, now 2-1. For the first time, Bybee has gone to a 3-ball count.
Holding you personally responsible for that, Kenny. You mentioned that a couple of hitters ago.
I'll blame our statistician, Ben Bowler. It's his fault.
Bybee's got to be careful here. Got to make a pitcher's pitch.
Ball 4 to Nimmo. So after Bybee retired the first 2 Rangers in the inning, Texas with runners on first and second.
Yeah, Bybee trying to make a pitcher's pitch, as I mentioned, just because he knows Nimmo. 3-1, he's keyholing something. He's looking to put something on in the seats, and Bybee not going to challenge him.
So here's Langford, who returned last night. Went 1 for 4 with a double. Fly to left in his first at bat tonight. Guardians with a run in the top half. And now the Rangers threatening. 2 on, 2 out. Langford shoots it into right. Martinez makes the catch. Texas strands 2 in the 4th. Welcome back to Baseball Night in America. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, 1-0 lead for the Guardians on a Jose Ramirez home run. Top of the 5th, Patrick Bailey will lead things off for Cleveland against Jack Leiter. Bailey takes a called strike. Bounce back to Leiter. His first time up in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, I think a real important inning for Jack Leiter, and just that he's facing the bottom of the lineup and an opportunity to have a pitch efficient inning.
Bailey, the number 8 hitter for the Guardians. Leiter has had his struggles in the 5th inning throughout the season.
Up as good a time as any to turn that around. He's ahead of Bailey 0-2. As I mentioned, the bottom part of the lineup. Like to get back in that dugout with a pitch count somewhere in the 70s.
Pitch number 68 from Leiter, fouled off to the right side. Rocchio on deck, then Bazzana. 1-0 lead for the Guardians. This one popped foul. Off to the left. Count remains 0-2. Leiter missing high after Bailey fouled all 4 in a row.
I'd like to see him use that cutter again. It's been one of his most effective pitches this year.
7th pitch of the at bat. Another foul. One-two from Leiter up the middle. And Leiter wins the battle. Bailey is retired, 1 away. Our sleeper picks, sponsored by Mattress Firm.
I mean, if I'm looking at those ball clubs right now, I think the White Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals really jump out to me. I think you could have made a case for some of those other ball clubs. And hey, yeah, they're going to be decent, but I did not think that the White Sox and Cardinals would arrive as soon as they have up to this point. It'll be interesting to see, though, that the White Sox are going to be without Murakami for a while, a prodigious home run hitter. And, you know, does St. Louis have the pitching to continue?
Now to look at Stephen Vogt in the Guardians dugout, his club in first place. Heading into play today, 2-game lead over the White Sox in the American League Central.
Right, he's doing a great job, but it's...
Rocchio sends this one down the right field line. It's a home run. We talked about the season he's having out of that 9-hole. Goes deep for the 5th time. And the Guardians have taken a 2-0 lead on a pair of solo home runs.
That ball came off the bat at 106 miles an hour. That was that cutter, right? And that has been an effective pitch for him. But this one just does not get in far enough. You see Rocchio trying to lean it fair, and it shoots off the pole. So 2 solo shots. That's been the extent of all the offense this evening.
The 1-0 Bazana in for a called strike, 1-1. So home runs allowed by Leiter in back-to-back innings. We talked about his struggles in the 5th.
Well, I think that also kind of correlates. It's not necessarily as much as it is the 5th as the number of pitches. You know, because he gets to the 5th inning and he's 70, 80 pitches. And, you know, a lot of that is the ball 1, the ball 2. And when he can learn to minimize that and be strike 1, that's gonna change his whole outlook, his whole performance. I mean, you just look at Bybee. Bybee has thrown 4 innings, a total of 45 pitches. We're coming up on pitch number 79, and we're only a 4 1/3 innings in.
Popped up to the right side, foul territory. Bazana is retired, now 2 away. High Speed, sponsored by AT&T.
Well, this is the first at bat, and he gets Ramirez with the cutter. He runs it in. Excellent pitch. Here's a 2-strike. It's a 4-seamer. It's out over the plate. Tried to beat him up in the zone, but it wasn't high enough, and it was out over the plate.
Ramirez with his first career hit off Leiter. He had been 0 for 9. Took him deep in the top of the 4th inning. Leiter coming off wins in each of his last 2 starts. Rangers have won 4 of Leiter's last 5 in a 2-0 hole here tonight.
That is a filthy pitch right there. 95. Right in on the hands. I mean, there's nothing he can do there. Went back with that cutter, right?
Here's the 3-1 to Ramirez. He draws a 2-out walk. Third walk issued by Jack Leiter tonight. So with Ramirez on at first, here's the Lauder. He's 0 for 2. There goes Ramirez. Throw down to second, off the mark, into center field. And Ramirez in safely at third.
Higashioka trying to make something out of nothing. It's a great pick, and Ramirez had a good jump as well. It's his 23rd stolen base on the year. But Higashioka didn't have a good pitch to throw on and just winged it down there.
Ramirez leads all of Major League Baseball in steals. He takes his lead off third. And the pitch to DeLauder. Leiter missing inside, ball 2.
Struck DeLauder out in the first at bat, and he got him with a cutter. He's fallen behind 2-0. He went 3-0 last time, and DeLauder bailed him out, swinging 3-0.
DeLauder rips this one into right field for a base hit. Ramirez scores easily. The Guardians now lead 3-0.
It's another cutter, and that's what Rocchio hit out. And the cutter that he's thrown this inning, they just haven't been able to bear in on the left-handed hitter's hands. He's left them over the middle part of the plate. They effectively have just been slower fastballs.
33rd run batted in for DeLauder. That's tied for the team lead with Ramirez. Strike one to Manzardo, who has walked twice tonight. 3-0 Cleveland. 1 run in the 4th, 2 here in the 5th. Fair ball down the right field line. DeLauder around third, coming home. The Guardians now lead 4-0.
You mentioned Manzardo had been 0 for 0 with 2 walks in his previous at bat, so he'd seen a lot of pitches. Leiter tries to go up top with that fastball. Manzardo just sitting on that thing.
'21st run batted in for Manzardo. Strike one to Steeman.
The 26th pitch of the inning.
Quantrill up for the Texas pen. 0-1 from Leiter, 0-2. To Schneemann, another base hit into right center. Here comes Manzardo. It is now 5-0 Guardians. Four Cleveland runs here in the 5th inning. And that will be all for Jack Leiter. Jack Leiter exits. Terrific over the first 3 innings. But allowed 5 runs in the 4th and the 5th.
I think Cal Quantrill will be asked to eat up some innings right here. He's done a nice job in the way that he's been used, predominantly as starter his career. You see Jack Leiter just frustrating because you know the line doesn't look great, but he pitched a lot better than the line really indicates. I mean, he was dominant the first 3 innings. In that 4th inning, he had Jose Ramirez 0-2, then throws a ball, and then the next pitch a home run. And I think that flustered him because, you know, the next 2 hitters, you know, he gets 3 balls and ends up walking, then a base hit later on, and I think he never really recovered. And then the 5th inning it just spiraled. You couldn't have a better guy talking to him right now than Eovaldi. I mean, Eovaldi was very much the same type of pitcher as Jack Leiter is now. Coming up with the Dodgers and then heading over to the Marlins.
Throw down to second, and Schneemann is in.
But going back to Eovaldi and Leiter being similar type guys early in their career, you know, Eovaldi he was just blowing guys away, and much like, you know, that's what Jack Leiter has done, you know, up until the big league experience. And Nathan is turned himself into one of the great postseason pitchers, big game pitchers, and Jack will learn from him.
Four runs scored by the Guardians here in the 5th. Martinez at the plate with 2 outs. Schneemann takes his lead off second. The 1-2 from the former Guardian Quantrill. And Martinez hit by the pitch. He will head to first.
That thing just had quad written all over it from the get-go. Just continued to bear in, and he could not get out of the way. And that's going to leave a mark too.
So here's Kwan, the 9th batter of the inning for Cleveland. Kwan is flied out twice. First and second, 2 away. In for a called strike from Quantrill, 0-1. How about Tanner Bybee sitting in that Guardians dugout? His teammates had scored only 14 runs for him all season. Cleveland now with a 5-0 lead.
Right, but this is probably the first time where he's saying, all right, enough scoring. Let me get back out there and pitch. We've been sitting around too long.
Into left field and into the glove of Langford. But the Guardians score 4. And now lead the Rangers 5-0 on baseball night in America. Tanner Bybee pitching with a 5-run lead. Strike 1 to Durant leading off for Texas. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Bybee came into this game lowest run support in Major League Baseball. His team battled around in the top half of the inning and scored 4 runs.
Well, not only has he kept the Rangers at bay, this is only his 48th pitch of the evening. Got to continue that pitch like it's still a 0-0 ball game.
Nice play by Bazzana to retire Duran, one away. Tomorrow, the fastest racing on earth gets the green flag at Gateway. Alex Palau, Joseph Newgarden, and IndyCar's best take on Worldwide Technology Raceway outside St. Louis. Tomorrow, 9 Eastern, only on Fox. Jake Berger grounded out to the third baseman Ramirez, his first time up. In for a called strike, 0-2. Only 3 base runners for the Rangers so far tonight. Seager singled in the first inning, was erased on a double play. And then in the fourth, a single by Young. And then Nimmo drew a walk. Berger strikes out. That's the second strikeout for Bobby tonight, now 2 out.
Yeah, Bobby not having any ill effects of watching that onslaught by the Cleveland offense. It's come right out, attack both Duran and Berger. Done exactly what they needed to do. 2 quick outs.
Here's Carter, struck out his first time up, takes ball 1. Rangers with the 3-2 win last night. They had only 5 hits in the game, including the 2 home runs. Only 2 base hits so far tonight for Texas. Skip Schumacher's club, 6 wins in their last 7. 4 straight here at home. But in a 5-run hole here tonight. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Two 2-1 to Carter. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count.
It's funny now with the ABS system. It's like, hey, if you question it, go ahead and challenge it.
How would you have reacted to the ABS system as a player?
I don't know. Like I sit here up here, watching games, and I think, oh, just challenge that. Oh, it's real easy to watch from up here. But being in the box, I don't know. I think sometimes I would have got emotional. It would have taken time. I think you've seen some of the younger players that have used the system in the minor leagues. They've been pretty good at it because there's a familiarity with it. But I think as time goes by, guys will get more comfortable.
On the 8th pitch of the at-bat, Carter down on strikes to end the inning. A 1-2-3 5th for Bybee. Guardians with a 5-0 advantage as we head to the 6th. The MLB app has you covered all season long. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Cleveland Guardians 5-0 lead over the Texas Rangers. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros. Thanks for joining us tonight. Baseball Night in America. Cal Quantrill on in relief of Jack Leiter, who went 4 2/3. Allowed 5 runs on 6 base hits, 2 home runs for the Guardians. Bailey led off the 5th inning, grounded out to the shortstop Seager, but his team would then score 4 runs in the inning. Chase Leiter. Rocchio went deep. He's on deck for Cleveland.
Yeah, Rocchio, you know, the first few years more of a defensive guy, but he's really come into his own this year as an offensive player.
Bailey has grounded out twice tonight. He's 0 for his last 9. Behind in the count 1-2 as Quantrill delivers, and Bailey fouls it off back behind third. We were scoreless through 3. Jose Ramirez took Jack Leiter deep in the 4th inning. And then the Guardians with the 4-run 5th. Here's Durant over to first to retire Bailey, 1 away. Our big move, Eric, sponsored by Pods.
Yeah, 5th inning just really got away from Jack. You know, the home run off the pull by Rocchio, and then just a number of base hits. You know, he'd worked ahead of some of the hitters, 2 strikes, and left some cutters out over the plate after, again, early on, he used that pitch effectively. And it was a pitch that coming into tonight, you know, again, he doesn't throw it with a lot of frequency, but it's been one of his best pitches.
Rocchio ended an 0 for 13 stretch with that 5th inning homer. And now Rocchio with a base hit into center field.
This pitch is over the heart of the plate. Rocchio does a nice job of shooting it up the middle. Really is funny, you know, you go back and you watch guys, you know, when they get their doubles or their hard hit balls, and almost to a T, big part of the plate.
So here's Bazzana. Line drive caught by the 3rd baseman Young. Travis Bazzana now 0 for 4 tonight.
Didn't hit it all that hard. Came off the bat at 83 miles an hour. It looked a lot harder, but got in on him a little bit.
So with 2 away, here's Ramirez, who took Leiter deep back in the 4th inning. His 10th home run of the season. That gave the Guardians a 1-0 lead. And then in the 5th, Ramirez walked, stole second, moved to third on an error, and came around to score another run.
But of all the at-bats that Jack Leiter had with these Cleveland Guardians, I think the at-bat in the 4th inning, leadoff at-bat where Ramirez took him deep, that's the one that had the most impact. Even though it was the first run, it was the first hit. He had him down 0-2, and like I said, then he went 1-2 and then gave up the home run. And if there's one guy in this lineup, and he knows it, Jack knows it,
He does not want Jose Ramirez to beat him. I think that just kind of emotionally got to him a bit.
And we talked about Leiter's success prior to that.
Yeah.
Ramirez had been 0 for 9 against Leiter.
I mean, it was the right idea, and it's actually not that bad of a pitch. The only thing, maybe you wanted it in more when you're going with the trying to elevate. The closer you get it to the hitter, the better off you're usually going to be. He left that pitch out over the plate.
Rocchio moves to second as that pitch sailed over the head of Higashioka. Off the glove. Ball 4 to Ramirez. So the Guardians with runners on first and second, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Chase to Lauder kept the inning going in the 5th with an RBI single to right.
Pitch was a strike. Cleveland has 1 challenge remaining.
Call is confirmed. Nothing at 1 on to Lauder. Rocchio the runner on second. Ramirez over at first. Guardians with a 5-0 lead over the Rangers. Lauder 1 for 3 tonight. Fouls this one off back behind third. Now 1 and 2.
I had an RBI single in that 5th inning that really chased Leiter.
High and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another foul off to the left side. A couple of second-generation Major League pitchers used by Texas tonight. Quantrill's dad, Paul, longtime Major Leaguer. On in relief of Jack Leiter, son of Al. Payoff pitch to Lauder. Called strike 3.
2 challenges in 1 at bat. Let's see.
Call is confirmed. Guardians out of challenges. Cleveland stranding 2 in the 6th. Strike 1 to Kyle Higashioka. Leading off for the Texas Rangers. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Tanner Bybee pitching with a 5-0 lead. Center field off the bat of Higashioka. And it drops in. Leadoff man on for the Rangers here in the 6th.
It's a cutter off the end of the bat. Certainly didn't hit it hard, but found some green in that outfield. Only 72 miles an hour off the bat.
Third base hit for the Rangers, and they have the leadoff man on for the first time tonight.
Well, and now they've got the top of the lineup coming up as well.
Jock Peterson 0 for 2. So the 5 runs the Guardians have scored for Bybee, the most they have scored while he has been in the game all season long. In 10 of his 13 starts, they scored 1 or fewer. Came into this game last in baseball in run support. Not the case tonight. Higashioka leadoff single. And now the 1-1 to Peterson. 1-2.
How about what Jock's been doing lately? Just basically turned around his season. Really sparked this Rangers offense. And, I mean, this is coming off a year last year where he hit 181, 9 home runs.
Center field. Catch made by Schneemann, 1 out. Time now for our Good Hands play, sponsored by Allstate.
Yeah, Tanner Bybee's really been on the top of his game. Super efficient this evening. Using all of his pitches, working both sides of the plate. And he's got her lead. I mean, he doesn't know what to do with that. Getting some run support, and he is just going out there and putting up zeros.
Seager, line drive caught, double play. Manzardo says, look what I found. And he turns 2. Wouldn't you know it? Kyle Manzardo leads off for the Guardians following an Eric Karros-like play at first base.
Just kind of fall over, catch the ball, and jog back. Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure you turned a few like that.
There were a few like that, yeah.
Now Manzardo at the plate. He has walked twice and then doubled in a run in the 5th. Another challenge.
We're on a heater right now. Challenges.
This call overturned.
Yeah.
DeLauder, the last batter for the Guardians back in the 6th. Challenged a couple.
He more than challenged a couple. He exhausted all of Cleveland's options.
That's right.
2 challenges in the same at bat, and unfortunately for DeLauder, both wrong. Saw that a few days ago. The Dodgers and Diamondbacks. You take a look at each of these ball clubs. One end of the spectrum and the other, right? Cleveland continuing their stretch of not being great at it. But the other day, Miguel Rojas against the Diamondbacks, he challenged 3 times in one at bat. He was right once, but erased the Dodger challenges with the other 2.
That's a pretty good batting average,
That's
333.
It doesn't work in ABS, so.
No. Manzardo down on strikes, 1 away.
Quantrill just running that four-seamer up and away.
Here's Schneemann. He takes strike 1. 2 for 3. Drove in a run back in the 5th. Top of the 7th in Arlington, Texas. A 3-2 Rangers win last night. Guardians leading tonight 5-0. Jose Ramirez a solo shot on the 4th. And then Cleveland with 4 runs in the 5th inning to chase Jack Leiter. Langford in left. Schneemann is retired, 2 away. Let's all play ball. Don't miss play ball weekend. This weekend through tomorrow, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. These guys are ready.
They are. Looks like somebody had a Pepsi or 2, right? They just
or 10.
They got this. Yeah, it's gonna be up all night.
I remember back in the day when you were taking your little guys up to Cooperstown to play in baseball tournaments, and look where they are now.
Yeah, it goes quick, right?
Yeah.
Goes quick.
One a Colorado Rocky, the other in the Dodger system.
Don't remind me how fast it goes, Kenny.
Speaking of second-generation major leaguers with Jack Leiter and Cal Quantrill, Kyle Karros in Denver. What a play! Now Martinez is retired. A 1-2-3 7th. It is 7th inning stretch time here at Arlington. Nothing lead for the Cleveland Guardians. Our game summary. Tanner Bybee getting run support. Has allowed only 3 hits through 6 innings. Guardians batted around in the 5th, scored 4 runs. Ramirez and Rocchio have gone deep. Seager, Peterson, Langford, a combined 1 for 8 for the Texas Rangers.
I think really the story so far has been Tanner Bybee and what he's been able to do. He's been getting run support, and you know, if you look at his numbers on the surface, the no wins, the ERA a bit elevated, you think this guy just he's not the same pitcher as we've come to know in the last few years. There really has been a span of bad luck, and you know, he hasn't been as sharpest, but man, he looks good this evening.
Guardians just 2-11 in his 13 starts this season. We've talked about the lack of run support all night long, but they have scored 5 for him tonight. As Young leads off for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 7th. Grounded into a double play back in the 1st inning. Singled in the 4th. Texas a game out of the 500 mark. Last time they were out 500 back on May 1st, 16 and 16. Rocchio makes the play across to Manzardo to retire Young, 1 away. There's Ramirez, who gave Cleveland the 1-0 lead back in the 4th inning with his 10th of the season. There's Brandon Nimmo, fly to center and walked. Takes a called strike from Bobby, 0-1. Nimmo, 15 years in the New York Mets organization. They drafted him in the 1st round back in 2011. Moving to his right, Lozada over to Manzardo for out number 2.
Cleveland playing some sharp defense to support Tanner Bybee tonight. Again, you look at Cleveland and you just, they're better than the, you add each guy up and you go, okay, yeah, they're good, but how do they win every single year? But collectively, they play winning baseball. They do things that they need to do to win that night's ball game. Another luxury, and I know it's still early, but in the starting rotation, they've only used 5 guys this year.
Right. Only team in baseball,
right,
to have used only 5 starters. Game and a half lead on the White Sox. Twins 6.5 out. Cleveland won the division last year, 88-74.
I don't think many people had Detroit and Kansas City being at the bottom.
No.
It'll be interesting, though. Skubal had a rehab start. He may be back a lot sooner than anybody anticipated. See what that means.
Crivello up in the Texas pen. Three-1 from Bybee to Langford. Count is full. Payoff pitch from Bybee. Ball 4 to Langford, so he heads down to first base.
And he wanted strike 3 right there, huh?
Durant 0 for 2. 0-1. Two-out walk to Langford. Bybee looking to close things out here in the 7th. There's Ramirez to second. And that will do it for the Rangers. We move to the 8th. Guardians with a 5-0 advantage. Last month, we posted the greatest summer job ever. The Fox 1 Chief World Cup watcher hired through Indeed. The job? Hire one lucky fan to sit in a glass cube in Times Square and stream every minute of all 104 World Cup games on Fox 1. So many great candidates applied on Indeed that we've actually selected 2 lucky fans to be our chief World Cup watchers. Congrats to Austin Franklin and Kevin Akoto. They will watch all 104 games of the upcoming World Cup. I heard you applied.
Yeah. I'm upset I didn't get that job, huh? Man, all the game. That's crazy, right?
Each and every game. Luis Curvelo, 25-year-old right-hander out of the Texas Pen. After Quantrill went 2 1/3 in relief of Jack Leiter, who allowed 5 runs in 4 2/3 innings. They'll be watching the United States and Paraguay on Friday and 103 other games.
The question is, are they going to be feeding them? That's the question.
So. 104 matches in all. Why am I not surprised that would be your first question?
Well, I'm looking out for him.
I know you were a little upset about the dessert last night.
Well, we were at a restaurant, a Tex-Mex restaurant, and the tres leches was recommended, and that's one of my favorite desserts of all time. And a couple of the guys at the table had never had it. This is going to be outstanding. And we got like strawberry shortcake that was dry as heck. It was like cake for a camel, because that thing had tres leches is supposed to be moist. And Stephen Kwan turning on something there, huh? But yeah, back to the tres leches. It was supposed to be, you know, it's got like a cream. It's moist. It's wet. The cake is. This thing was dry as heck.
You were very upset.
I was surprised. I was surprised. Anyhow,
you'll have to make up for it during your next road trip.
Well, that wasn't my response. That was false advertising from the restaurant. Should have just said strawberry shortcake. Tried to disguise it as a tres leches, as an imposter dessert.
But you were happy with the meal overall.
Meal was great. Yeah, I mean, but let's focus. The tres leches was not tres leches.
No, you were not happy.
No.
Patrick Bailey has grounded out 3 times tonight. Kwan with a leadoff single here in the 8th. Five 5-0 lead for the Guardians. Top of the 8th inning at Arlington.
Curvelo, a lot of sliders. Slider sinker guy. Will throw the split as well.
Right back to Curvelo. The throw is off the mark. Everybody's safe.
Yeah, that thing was a rocket, though. Was that shin? Have to take a look at that. That was not good. And that ball came off at 108 miles an hour.
Wow.
I mean I mean, I hope for his sake it got some tissue, some flesh. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That looked like left knee.
Had the presence of mind to try and make the play.
Well, that was just all adrenaline right there. And then pain set in. 108. Good to see him get up. Yeah, the smart move right here. I mean, even if he wanted to stay in.
And to add insult to injury, he is charged with a throwing error on the play. So Curvelo exits. 5-0 Cleveland. Welcome back. 5-0 lead for the Guardians. 2 on here in the top of the 8th. Robbie Ahlstrom out of the Rangers pen. Made his major league debut on Wednesday. Originally drafted by the Yankees in the 7th round back in 2021 out of the University of Oregon.
Yeah, left-hander. He's got pretty good run up there. See Curvelo, it's good to see him walking. Again, you just hope that it's a contusion, right? And all the imaging comes up negative. But man, again, 108 off the bat. That was no messing around.
So Ahlstrom, the 4th Rangers pitcher tonight, as we take a look at some headlines around Major League Baseball.
Yeah, Christopher Sanchez had a dynamite month. And see the Southsiders, Vargas and Murakami. Murakami's going to be down for a while, and then Shohei. What he is doing again this year is, you know, you talk about a Mount Rushmore of baseball players. He's not on Mount Rushmore. He's on top of it because he is the greatest player to ever walk. And what he's doing on the mound this year, and oh, by the way, you think, oh, well, you know, he's doing great, but the hitting isn't. Look at his numbers offensively. He's leading on base percentage. The OPS is through the roof again. I marvel at him.
What's it like watching him just about every game?
Nothing surprises you. Nothing. Which that it almost becomes mundane, some of the great things he does, because you just expect it because he is so special.
Swing and a miss by Rocchio, 0-1. You know, we all grew up hearing about, reading about Babe Ruth and his years as a pitcher, and then of course one of the greatest home run hitters of all time, and not sure any of us could have imagined what we've seen over the last decade from Ohtani.
Yeah, there would somebody better. I mean, you got to remember, Ruth was doing it, but he wasn't hitting 50 home runs and then dominating on the mound at the same time.
Rocchio went deep back in the 5th inning. The 0-2 from Ahlstrom, and Rocchio got a piece of it.
I mean, you mentioned earlier that Curvelo received an error, right? So this is how unfair baseball is. Okay, yeah, he gets an error. How about Bailey? You hit it 108 miles an hour and you get nothing. Like, and that's a guy that could use a hit. Help a guy out, hits 108. Jeez.
Kwan, the runner, on second. Bailey takes his lead off first. Nobody out, top of the 8th inning. The 0-2 from Ahlstrom. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nice block by Higashioka. Texas won the series opener 3-2 last night. Off the glove of the shortstop Seager. to get the out at second. So the Guardians now have runners on first and third, one away.
Ball hit relatively hard, and kind of Corey trying to short hop the thing and then just trying to make sure he gets it to second base to get the force out.
So with one away, here's Bazzana. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Hit a leadoff home run in last night's game, was a double shy of a cycle. Different story here tonight. Seager out at second, safe at first. So the Rangers unable to turn 2. And the Guardians now lead 6-0.
Corey does a nice job. Grant trying to come across the bag. He's running away from where he has to throw the ball, and Bazzana hustling out of that box.
High and tight to Jose Ramirez. Ramirez got things started with a solo shot off Leiter back in the 4th inning. And then the floodgates open in the 5th when the Guardians scored 4 times. Line drive caught by Seager, and that will end the inning. But the Guardians and a run, middle of the 8th, lead the Rangers by 6. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by eBay. Millions of finds, buy and sell on eBay. Things people love. Well, Guardians fans love their effort tonight. 6-0 lead over the Rangers. As Jake Berger leads off. Slow roller, Bybee off the mound with the toss to first, 1 away. All smiles tonight. Tanner Bybee pitching into the 8th. He went 8 innings 3 starts ago against Detroit, a season high.
I think, though, the thing about it is, you know, only 3 strikeouts, so it's not like he's just putting guys away. But what he's doing is he's pitching 82 pitches this evening. He's moved the ball all over the plate, used a plethora of pitches, worked ahead. He's got himself a lead, too. I mean, that's the other thing. You know, he hasn't had this kind of run support. But, man, he has been dominant this evening.
Evan Carter has struck out twice. Average down to 169. Left center off the bat of Carter. And the catch made by Schneemann. Carter now 0 for 3. Well, Eric, this is back in 1993. And then history repeats itself.
Yeah, this one with Adele, it hit off his glove, then it hit off his hat, and then it went over.
First one, of course, Jose Canseco.
Yep. Well, the crazy thing is they originally scored that as a home run. The one that Joe Adele gave the assist. They later changed that just the other day. scored it as a 4-base error. You know, what's crazy is that's the second time that's happened to him.
Wow.
But he's also the same guy that they're going to have a bobblehead for him at Angel Stadium for the game where he robbed 3 home runs in one game. That guy on the right robbed 3 home runs in one game earlier this year. It's just hard to believe.
How about Kwan? Diving catch. A 6-pitch 8th for Tanner Bybee with an assist from his left fielder. Ninth inning here in Arlington, Texas on Baseball Night in America with the Guardians leading the Rangers 6-0. Tanner Bybee, 8 innings in the books of shutout baseball. And a 6-run lead. Last in all of baseball in run support heading into tonight's game. What a performance.
I mean, again, I'm just looking at his facial expressions, and I could be completely off, but I bet you there's some part of him that wants to go back out there and finish this game. In fact, I'm going to guess there's a lot of part of him that wants to go out and finish the game, because he is a competitor, and you know, but there's a reason why they've only used 5 starters this year. And nice job by DeLauder shooting it the other way.
He's throwing like 87 pitches.
Right. Well, but that's the thing, is like you're playing this for the long run, and you know, you get one of your bullpen guys in there. But I mean, the more and more I'm looking, I guarantee you he's like, yeah, okay, I know I did a nice job, but he wants to be out there again. But it's that man right there, Stephen Vogt. He's got to make the decision, and sometimes those are hard decisions because the player is always going to want to go out and do something, and you've got to protect the player from himself sometimes.
How about this? 3 innings of 7 or fewer pitches tonight for Bybee. Threw 6 pitches in the first, 7 in the 6th, 6 pitches in the 8th. You saw Heron up in the pen. The 0-2 to Manzardo. Flies out to Langford on the run and left. Well, make your favorite players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball Major League Baseball All-Star Ballot daily, or visit MLB.com/vote. As a kid, did you love going to the ballpark and taking a pencil and
doing the ballots? You remember you used to punch those things out, right? Yep, I remember that. I used to, grab those ballots, and we'd always save, my brother and myself, we'd always save about 20 each year. And oh yeah.
Were those referred to as chads back in the day?
I mean, right? The hanging. Way before they were.
That's right. But you'd always do it with the you buy the program, the scorecard. You get the pencil like at mini golf, right?
Right.
The miniature size pencil and poke out the all-star ballots.
Yep. And you'd put like 5 or 6 ballots together and knock out 5 or 6 at one time. Heck, one year, what was it, 74, Steve Garvey, right in. He was a right-in
That's right.
starter.
They always had a couple of lines at the bottom.
Yes, yep, to right in.
Those under, what, 25 probably have no idea what we're referring to. But it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Now, though, right, just a click. Put it up on the screen, click.
You don't need the pencil any longer. Schneemann safe at first. They get the force at second, now 2 out.
Looked like they had a shot there, but Corey doesn't get much on that throw, and almost looked like he had a palm ball. Just lawn darted it.
So with 2 away, here's Angel Martinez. Martinez again swings at the first pitch. We've seen that all night long. The throw across from Seager. We head to the bottom of the 9th here at Arlington with the Guardians and Bybee leading by 6. Six runs, 9 hits for the Guardians. No runs, only 3 hits, 2 errors for the hometown Texas Rangers. Tanner Bybee, who did pitch 2 complete games last season, brilliant tonight. 87 pitches through 8 innings, did not allow a run. And he will watch as Tim Herron looks to close things out for the Guardians. And with Herron making his 28th appearance of the season, he's facing pinch hitter Justin Foscue. And Foscue hit by the pitch from Herron, so he will head down to first base.
Well, it's been all Tanner Bybee tonight for this Cleveland ball club, and really from start to finish, he had complete control of the game. Had some great defense as well, but he kept them involved. Only a handful of strikeouts, so you had to be on your toes out there. Only 2 walks, but again, just he was pitch efficient. You mentioned it, Kenny. You know, a couple innings under 7 pitches each of those innings, and I mean, look, I guarantee you he wanted to go out for this 9th. Try and get that complete game. But again, managing for the long run. See that, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. So you kept your defense involved, and they made some great plays as well.
No wins over his first 13 starts this season. Outstanding here tonight. Two-one to Seager, now 2-2. Great job by our entire crew here in Arlington, led by producer Eric Billigmeyer, our director Max Leinwand, associate director Chirag Devaskar, broadcast associate Connor O'Brien. Ben Boma crunching the numbers along with Mark Seguro. Seager down on strikes. 1 away.
Good to be on the road with everybody. Good times.
Fun dinner last night despite your dessert. My wife Barbara celebrating her birthday today, but she shared me with you and the crew.
Congratulations to you, and
down south over the weekend. I'm sure if she's watching, she enjoyed the story about last night's dessert.
Well, the funny thing is I've had some text messages from some friends back home that their moms can make tres leches at a whole nother level. So when I fly back, guess what I got waiting for me?
The power of television and the spoken word. One out, bottom of the ninth inning. Out at second and out at first. The Cleveland Guardians win it 6-0. First victory of the season in his 14th start for Tanner Bybee, who was brilliant over 8 innings. Ramirez and Rocchio went deep, and the Guardians even this series at 1 game apiece.
And again, you can't say enough about this young man, Tanner Bybee. Just nothing has gone right for him up to this point, and tonight he just let it all hang loose. Could have gone 9 innings. Was that efficient? Was that dominant? On the flip side, Cleveland offense, Jose Ramirez, Brian Rocchio going deep, and these guys just keep rolling along, rolling along, and we'll see you in October.
A huge sigh of relief for Bybee. First place Guardians now 37-29 atop the American League Central. 6-0 win here in Arlington. Much more to come. Back in a moment. Guardians over the Rangers tonight, 6-0. 5 days and counting. The biggest World Cup ever comes to America. This Friday, Christian Pulisic and the United States men's national team kick off their World Cup dream on a huge night of music, stars, and celebration in Los Angeles. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with the match at 9 Eastern on Fox. Tanner Bybee and the Cleveland Guardians get the better of Jack Leiter and the Texas Rangers. Guardians score 4 runs in the 5th inning. A couple of home runs, Ramirez and Rocchio. 6-0 Cleveland. For Eric Karros and our entire crew, I'm Kenny Albert. So long from Arlington. You are watching Fox, the exclusive home of the 2026 Major League Baseball All-Star Game and World Series.